The Premier League has a serious Caleb Yirenkyi problem, and Manchester United know it, because this is not United reacting late, chasing headlines, or waiting for someone else to confirm the talent first. This is United stepping into a race that is already crowded, already aggressive, and already moving. Brighton are there. Liverpool are there. Arsenal and Chelsea are watching closely, and at least one Premier League club already tried in January and failed. The scary part, United are not choosing between finished stars and future talent anymore. They are chasing both, and if they get that balance right, they stop being predictable. That tells you this is not curiosity, it is intent. This did not appear overnight. United have been laying groundwork quietly for a while now. Early moves, low noise, long timelines, a different recruitment logic taking shape. They missed before. That lesson hurt, but instead of walking away from the model, United refined it, and now everything points to the next step. Caleb Yirenkyi is a 20-year-old Ghanaian midfielder, dominating in Denmark, already flagged across Premier League recruitment departments, and quietly viewed by Brighton as the kind of player you plan around, not react to. United are not waiting for the £100 million version. They are trying to secure the profile before it explodes. That is how you know this is serious. Sandro Tonali, Adam Wharton, Elliot Anderson, and Carlos Baleba are still very high on Manchester United's list. Rebuilding the midfield after Casemiro's departure remains a priority. That has not changed. What has changed is how United are approaching it. If anything, it explains why Caleb Yirenkyi has become so important. Because this is not about abandoning one target for another. It is about refusing to let one deal dictate the entire midfield rebuild. So when United move for a player, Brighton would be comfortable lining up behind Carlos Baleba. It is not coincident, it is preparation. For years, United paid the tax for arriving late. Now they are trying to arrive early and on their own terms. So who is Caleb Yirenkyi? He is a 20-year-old Ghanaian central midfielder who already plays with authority well beyond his age. Right now, he is doing it every week for FC Nordsjælland in a system that does not gift minutes to potential. You earn your place there, or you sit. Yirenkyi did not sit. He broke into the first team quickly and stayed there because he solves problems. He wins duels, covers ground, and moves the ball forward with calm under pressure. Not flash, not chaos, control. Yes, people will call him the next Michael Essien. That comparison will always follow a Ghanaian midfielder built for battle. But the real attraction is not nostalgia, it is profile. He is a modern hybrid, box to box when energy is needed, disciplined enough to sit when control matters, comfortable receiving under pressure, and trusted enough to play out of position for his national team when required. That trust is important, because coaches do not gamble with teenagers in high-stakes moments unless they believe in their decision-making. Scouts describe him as physically powerful, but mentally composed, built to compete, but calm enough to dictate tempo, always scanning, always processing space early. And that combination travels. That is why clubs across the Premier League are watching. This is not a highlight story. It is a reliability story. And reliability at 20 years old changes how fast decisions get made. Yirenkyi's rise is not accidental. It is structured. At 11 years old, he entered the Right to Dream Academy in Ghana. Not just a football program, a pressure environment, education and elite training. Running side by side, discipline, accountability, expectation. This is not a place where raw talent float. You either grow quickly or you fall away. Yirenkyi grew. The hardest part of his journey was never technical ability. It was adaptation. Moving from Ghana to Denmark as a teenager, heat to winter, familiarity to isolation, comfort to routine. Many players struggle there. Some never recover. Yirenkyi accelerated. That matters to recruitment teams more than almost anything else, because football ability is common at the top level. Mental resilience is not. There is another layer here too: education. Yirenkyi balanced elite football development with academics, showing a level of discipline and structure that translates directly onto the pitch. His scanning, his calm under pressure, his ability to make decisions early, all of it connects back to how he has been trained to think. Manchester United's recruitment team value that profile, not just legs and lungs, but processing speed. For supporters, it hits something deeper: youth, development, merit, intelligence. This is not a mercenary signing profile. This is a builder, someone you grow with, not rent. And when United start prioritizing that again, it signals a deeper reset. There is always a moment when a prospect becomes a live case. For Caleb Yirenkyi, it came in May 2025 in London against Nigeria, his senior debut for Ghana. Big rivalry, big occasion, and then the unexpected call. At half-time, he was introduced not into midfield, but at right back, out of position, under pressure. Exactly the kind of scenario that exposes young players. Instead, it exposed his intelligence. Yirenkyi did not simplify his game out of fear. He read danger early. He positioned himself well. He chose the right moments to step out and the right moments to hold. Nigeria pushed. The tempo rose. The margin for error shrank. Yirenkyi stayed calm. By full time, the conversation had shifted, not just among fans, but inside recruitment departments, because versatility under pressure is not a bonus at elite level, it is a filter. Right to Dream founder Tom Vernon summed it up afterwards by saying a new star had been born, not because of flair, but because of composure. From that night on, Yirenkyi stopped being a future Watchlist name. He became a live file. He went straight into Ghana's World Cup qualification plans. His responsibilities grew. His confidence grew. And back in Europe, the watching turned into planning. Because when a 19-year-old shows you that level of calm when everything is stacked against him, the question stops being whether he can step up. It becomes who is brave enough to move first. What followed was not hype, it was confirmation. The 2025-26 season was where Caleb Yirenkyi stopped being a smart idea and started becoming a problem for recruitment teams who waited too long. At FC Nordsjælland, he was not eased into responsibility, he was leaned on. From early in the season, he became a reference point in midfield, the player others looked for when the game needed control. By August, he was starting regularly. By autumn, he was indispensable. By winter, he was running games, not with chaos, with discipline. His role changed depending on the opponent, box to box when energy was required, deeper when stability mattered, always available, always reliable. This was not a player hiding inside a system, he was driving it. That consistency is what caught attention, not one performance, but a run of them. Then came January. A Premier League club tested the market with a £15 million bid. FC Nordsjælland rejected it immediately, not because they wanted to block his path, but because they understood his trajectory. Yirenkyi stayed. He signed an extension, not out of fear, but out of maturity. Minutes mattered. Development mattered. Timing mattered. That decision changed the tone of the race, because now, this was no longer a cheap gamble. It was a controlled opportunity, with leverage shifting towards those willing to plan rather than rush. And that is when watching turned into strategy. Once the season settled, the data removed all doubt. Yirenkyi crossed 1,000 passes before spring, with a completion rate consistently above 92%. And this was not passive recycling. These were pressure-breaking passes, forward passes that moved teams up the pitch. For a 20-year-old operating in central areas, that matters. The output followed. 5 assists from midfield, joint most in the league. Not from set pieces, from timing, awareness, and decision-making speed. Receiving under pressure, scanning early, releasing before the press arrived. That scanning is something scouts keep returning to. His head is constantly moving. Space is processed early. By the time the ball reaches him, the decision is already made. Defensively, the numbers were just as convincing. Duels won above 50%, nearly 100 defensive actions by mid-season, recoveries in transition, ground covered without leaving the structure exposed. This is where the profile crystallized. Not a destroyer, not a runner, a controller. Global data models noticed too. Yirenkyi was ranked as the most effective under 20 playmaking midfielder currently operating outside Europe's top 5 leagues. Not opinion, pattern recognition. Once that label sticks, the market moves fast. Shortlists tighten, budgets shift, waiting becomes dangerous. And Manchester United understand that better than most. Brighton do not react, they sequence. Every major sale is planned in advance. The replacement is identified before the exit becomes public. That is how they stay ahead, while others chase. Carlos Baleba fits perfectly into that model. Brighton know his value, they know the demand, and they know that when movement comes, it will be on their term. That is why Yirenkyi matters to them. He does not need to be a clone, he just needs to solve the same problems. Energy in midfield, ball winning in transition, security in possession under pressure, development curve that matches the resale model. From Brighton's perspective, Yirenkyi makes sense. From United's perspective, that is the warning, because if Brighton secure him first, the cycle repeats. Development, Premier League exposure, inflation, fewer options. So when United move now, While he is still in Denmark, while the fee reflects potential rather than proof, it changes the dynamic completely. Liverpool are watching closely. Arsenal have sent scouts. Chelsea are tracking developments, and that unnamed January bidder remains interested. Everyone sees the same thing: a 20-year-old midfielder with physical presence, technical security, and mental resilience available before his price spike. The difference is timing. Some clubs are monitoring, some are preparing. United have already engaged. That matters. It is also financially responsible. Instead of tying the rebuild to one massive deal, United are spreading risk and building optionality. That is not weakness. That is maturity. For years, United chased certainty and paid premiums for it. Now they are chasing timing. And that is the difference. This move is not about rejecting Carlos Baleba. It is about refusing to be cornered by the market again. If United win this race, it will not be because they paid the most. It will be because they understood the moment first. And that is the quiet shift that should worry everyone else. Because once a club like Manchester United starts getting that right consistently, the gap closes quickly, not with noise, with structure.